The men's 2026 UCI Cycling World Tour is underway. It's been a wait, but as always, we bring it back traditionally with the Santos Tour Down Under. For only the second time in the 26-year history of this race, it's a prologue that would see them start, and even shorter than it was 3 years ago when we had a 5.5 kilometre time trial. The opening distance just 3.6 kilometres. No time trial bikes allowed, just road bikes and aero helmets with aero wheels. And this was the course that would give them a measly 18 metres of elevation. Pan flat, long run out the central business district of Adelaide and into Victoria Park. Just 8 twists and turns, but nothing too technical to contend with at all. It was all about power on the opening race for that ochre leader's jersey. Laurence Pithy was absolutely flying as one of the earlier starters and was challenging the time of young Michael Leonard, the Canadian time trial champion for EF Education Easy Post. Then came Sam Watson, something of a prologue specialist these days, having already won the prologue at the Tour de Romandie in the men's UCI World Tour last year, and all the way through at the intermediate time checks, he was looking better and better. Watson out the saddle, sprinting for the line, and he took over the best time from Laurence Pithy, who'd moved Michael Leonard down one spot. Next, another fast-finishing Brit, of course, in Ethan Vernon. Ethan Vernon, a track pursuit specialist, seemingly perfectly honed for that 4-minute effort, but shaking his head as he came across the line in the new kit of NSN Pro Cycling. It was good enough, though, to give him second place. Then came Ben O'Connor. Ben O'Connor, who'd already shown at the Australian Nationals the kind of form he's in and the intent with which he's come to take on the Santos Tour Down Under. It was a great ride, but not enough to take the win. Adam Yates, now the only Yates twin left in the men's professional peloton, did a good ride, but not quite enough to challenge the leaders. He would live to fight hillier days in the upcoming week of racing. Eric Ressel put in a great ride for UNOX Mobility, but again, not quite enough to get in amongst the top 3. And it was a top 3 that was sitting very firm all the way through the 140 riders that were set to go. The Swiss time trial and road race champion, Mauro Schmidt, gave it a go for the Australian team of Jaco Alula, and it was a great ride by him, and it certainly showed his intent for the general classification for this week. But still, the 2 Brits sitting at the top of the standings, Sam Watson and Ethan Vernon. Others would come, including Pierre Gauthier, the Frenchman, with a great ride for Decathlon CMA CGM, but not enough to get in amongst that top 3. Jay Vine was the last rider off. The newly crowned, returning Australian time trial champion set about the course like a man riding a rocket. Would it be enough to knock either of the 2 Brits off those 2 top spots? Sam Watson by this point had been sat in that hot seat for an eternity and looking very relaxed doing so, but he was certainly nervous once he saw Jay Vine coming into Victoria Park. He'd done enough though, and Sam Watson taking his second World Tour prologue win to go with last year's opening stage of the Tour de Romandie. Well, he's definitely a prologue specialist, we can say that. He's a very fine sprinter and will have no problem, I suspect, going for those intermediate time checks this week. But he will swap the orange, the new orange of Ineos, for the ochre of the leader's jersey of the Santos Tour Down Under going into stage 1. That was the result of the top 10. And this was Sam Watson in the ochre jersey going into tomorrow's Tanunda road stage. And of course the result reflected the top 10 because there were no bonus seconds given for the prologue. It was an all-out battle for those tiny slivers of seconds that separated the riders. This is tomorrow's opening road stage, stage 1. It's the classic Tanunda loop, but with an extra lap. So that means 3 ascents of Mengler's Hill to really test the legs and the staying power of the sprinters. 1 year ago, of course, it was Sam Welsford winning. Will we see Sam Watson leading out Sam Welsford for the win? You will have to join us to find out. That stage is tomorrow's opening road stage of the 26th edition of the Santos Men's Tour Down Under. Be sure to join us tomorrow and all week as we get the Men's UCI World Tour underway.